So is it necessary to record the class? Okay. 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 I'm recording, sir. So I am Mrs. Moina Deori from JNB Tinsukia. Here I'm going to start the topic determination of income and employment. So this chapter carry 12 marks according to our CBSE split of syllabus. So this is the chapter which carry the highest mark and very important chapter and the lengthiest chapter you can say. So the chapter is determination of income and employment. So first of all, we are going to start with the aggregate demand. So aggregate means as a whole, the sum total. What is called demand? All you have studied in the microeconomics, what is demand and all that's you have the previous knowledge. So in macro sense, we will study about the aggregate demand. Here the aggregate demand refers to the total value of final goods and services which all the sectors of an economy are planning to buy at a given level of income during a period of one accounting year. Here, it means how many sectors are there in an economy. As we have already studied in the first chapter also, the circular flow of income, all you know that there are four sectors in an economy. That is household sector, farm sector, government sector, and the external sector. So all the final, remember one thing also, the final goods, all the final goods and services, which all the sectors here, the all sector means usually the economy have the four sectors, that is consumption expenditure by the household sector, investment expenditures, government expenditures, and net export, export minus import. These are the four sectors. So whatever goods and services will produce in an economy, so togetherly what the these sectors are planning. One more important thing, this aggregate demand is planned, not the actual. We plan to buy if we know that how much we are going to buy or do expenditures in one accounting year. Accordingly, we can produce the output also. That's why it is very much necessary to know the how much the economy is or all the sectors are going to buy or do expenditures in an one year. So here we can also say that aggregate demand is equal to aggregate expenditures. Yes, because whatever you will do expenditures, that means you are demanding means you are expanding money. That is your expenditures. So like this aggregate demand have four components. That is A equal to C for consumption expenditure by the household. I, that is the private investment expenditures. G, that is the government expenditures. And our fourth sector is X minus M, that is export minus import. That is, so we have the four components of aggregate demand, C plus I plus G plus X minus M. यहाँ पर एक चीज लिखा in an open economy. It's the open economy where the external sector is there. Today's all economy are open economy. That's globalization is happening. Like this. So if you are asked to write the different components of aggregate demand, then you have to write these four components and explain one by one all the four components of aggregate demand. The consumption expenditures, that is done by the household. The consumer goods, all the consumers who do expenditures on different goods and services to meet their needs. These are the consumption expenditures. Then the I, that is the investment expenditures done by the private sectors in the construction of building, purchasing machines, and different types of capital goods. And in economy, their government also do lots of expenditures. All you know that government give the public facilities to like providing government school, hospitals, road construction, then different types of construction infrastructures, defense, etc. This all are provided by government at a very minimum price. Then we have the fourth sector, that is X minus M, that is the export minus import at the external sector. The combining all these four components, we have the aggregate demand. But in your syllabus or in our syllabus, we will concentrate in a two-sector economy, that is the closed economy. Here, as in the circular flow also, if you remember the national income chapter, there we took only two sectors, that the household sector and the in farm sector. But likewise, in a two-sector model, we have only two components of aggregate demand. We will take the consumption expenditure, C for the consumption expenditures by the household, and I the investment expenditures. So, but here for simplicity, we will assume that this I as a autonomous investment. And if you, as you have already gone through the chapter, that there are two types of investment. One is your induced investment, and another is autonomous investment. Here, we will take the autonomous investment, which is not guided by the profit motive. That is, it doesn't change with a change in the income. Okay, so that is the autonomous investment. And induced investment, all you know, that it changes with the change in the income, guided by profit motive. So for in practical, in real life, of course, investment changes with the changes in income. But for simplicity, we will assume that this I is autonomous investment. Okay, so let's see the schedule or the table for aggregate demand. And uh, for simplicity or for to be easy, I suggest that you use the same table for all the schedule, whether it is consumption for doing the consumption graph, for investment or saving. We should use only one graph that will be easy to remember. Okay. So accordingly, as we have already discussed that AD equal to C plus I, that's why here, first of all, here we will see the change in aggregate demand with a change in income. Not like that in microeconomics, we used to see that change in demand with a change in the price. But here in aggregate demand, we are trying to show the change in aggregate demand due to change in income. Here we are measuring the income. Let's assume that when first at zero level of income, then the income is increasing 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, like this. Under consumption. Consumption, so it is worth mentioning that at zero level of income also, uh, you can see at zero level of income, there is some consumption. So that is what does it suggest? All you already know, I think, that is your autonomous consumption, which is indicated by C bar. And then we see that this consumption is increases at zero level of income, especially the consumption which is 40, that is called the autonomous consumption, which is required even if you are earning zero income, that we have to survive, isn't it? We have to survive, we have to meet our basic needs even if income is zero. That may be managed by your past saving. People used to have a saving, so that even if not a present level of income is zero, we have to do some consumption. That consumption is called autonomous consumption, which maybe people do by using their past saving, or it may or happen that they can borrow also, you know? So they can borrow like this. And then we see that your consumption is increasing, and with an increase in income, the income become 100, the consumption income then 200, consumption is also increasing. So there is a positive relation between income and consumption. Income increases, consumption also increases, and at a certain point it just become equal. This we will going to discuss later on, what is this and how it changes in the consumption function. Then let's see the investment I. Here, the investment, as I already told, that this investment is autonomous investment, which does not change with a change in the income. Here you can see the income is changing, it's increasing from 100, 0 to 600, but your investment is remain constant. It is not changing with a change in the income. That's why it is called autonomous investment. And combining C and I, we get the aggregate demand. That is, this is 40 plus 20, it is 60. So like this, by combining aggregate C plus I, we get the aggregate demand schedule table. So later on, we will draw the aggregate demand graph, how it's look. Uh, Now next see the aggregate supply. Like aggregate demand, we also have aggregate supply, which is indicated by AS. That is, AS is your aggregate supply. Is the what it is written? It is a value of goods and services produced in an economy in one accounting year. एक साल में कितने goods and service produce हुआ है एक देश में, that is the aggregate supply. So and most importantly, here aggregate supply is equal to Y. Equal sign equal to Y. Why it is called so? It is aggregate supply means you are producing something. Now, when you will produce something, when you have output, then only you can supply. And when there will be production, output generation, output will be there, income generation will happen. Some people will get income in the form of profit. Some will get income in the form of rent, interest, etc., wages. So when there will be production or supply, there will be income generation. There will be employment generation. Employment will generate income. That's why. So all this means where there will be production or supply, there will be value addition, isn't it? Value addition of goods and services. So that will help in the generation of income. So that's why we say that AS equal to Y. That is the national income. AS equal to Y. When there will be production, when there will be supply, there will be income generation. So that's why we write AS equal to Y. So this is your aggregate supply graph, which here always remember in the x-axis we measure income. And in the y-axis, here we are measuring AS, then AS. It's the 45-degree line. इस तरह से होता है. यहाँ पर आप 45 degree लिख सकते हैं इस तरह से. So this is the AS graph, straight line, then equal to Y, and you know Y equal to C plus S. This already we know. So why it is C plus S? Y equal to C plus S? Because the income that you will earn, either you will spend it in, use it for your consumption to meet your needs, to purchase different things, goods and services to meet fulfill their needs. Then the remaining amount we save. Remaining amount we save. That's why Y equal to C plus S. And for further, we will require this formula also. Agar this Y equal to C plus S, then C equal to Y minus S, or S equal to, if you want to find out S for saving, C for consumption, S for saving. So Y equal to C plus S, the income, either you will use for consumption or saving purpose. So if further you wants to find out consumption from this formula, then we can use this Y equal to C equal to Y minus S. And if you want to find out S with saving, then this will be the formula. So here we came to know about the aggregate supply. The next very important topic is our consumption function. Consumption function. Consumption is the function of income. Consumption is the function of income. And what is consumption? All you know, the goods, the consumer spends money on different goods and services to meet their needs. That is the consumption. We consume different goods and services to meet our needs. That's right. And consumption is the function of income. That means income changes, consumption will also change. So for example, income increases, consumption increases. And this consumption equation ऐसे लिखे हैं, या फिर हम ऐसा लिख सकते हैं C equal to, बहुत जगह आपको मिलेगा C bar plus B Y. इस तरह से consumption equation बोलते हैं इसको हम, the consumption function का equation है. So here C for consumption and A लिखते हैं, या फिर आपको बहुत सारे बुक में इस तरह हम C bar मिल जाएगा. C bar is the autonomous consumption. And autonomous consumption I have already discussed there. That is that level of consumption when income is zero. That is the autonomous consumption. Whether you're earning or not, that consumption will be there. That is the autonomous. So, okay. So that's we manage by using our past saving or maybe by borrowing it, etc. That is the autonomous consumption. And B, this autonomous consumption also known as autonomous. Then we have the B. B is the marginal propensity to consume. This we are going to study later on, but we can say this is the induced consumption. which changes with the change in the income, which changes with the change in the income. So that is your marginal propensity to consume. तो एक कंजम्पशन हमेशा रहेगा जो कि हम ऑटोनोमस कंजम्पशन बोलते हैं, और दूसरा कंजम्पशन ऐसा होगा जो कि इनकम के चेंज होने से, इनकम के बढ़ने से ऑब्वियसली कंजम्पशन बढ़ता है. दैट इज द फैक्ट. आपका अगर इनकम बढ़ रहा है तो कंजम्पशन भी बढ़ेगा. लेकिन उसके बाद कुछ आफ्टर द ब्रेक इवन पॉइंट दैट्स वी विल डिस्कस, तो आपका जो कंजम्पशन है, इनकम के जितना इनकम जिस रेट से बढ़ता है, द रेट एट विच इनकम विल इंक्रीज, द कंजम्पशन विल नॉट इंक्रीज एट दैट पेस. So people start saving. That we will discuss it on. A Y for income. So you can write this one. Also, you can write C equal to C bar plus BY. Don't confuse. Okay. So this is our consumption function. And this, then we have propensity to consume. Propensity means the tendency, how much you will consume. Okay, with a change in the income, like this, always consumption is measured with the in relation to income. Okay, so it's again of two type, that is average propensity to consume and marginal propensity to consume. Average propensity to consume, which we indicate APC, and a marginal propensity to consume, MPC. So let's see one by one. And again, I'm telling you that we will use the same table, like income 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, consumption like this. Remember one table, whatever it may be, आपके पास जो भी table है उसको एक table आप जरूर याद कर लीजिए, so that you can use it in the examination. Okay, so let's see what is average propensity to consume. So average propensity to consume refers to the ratio of consumption expenditure to any level of income. So like this is the formula for average propensity to consume. F is equal to C divided by Y. Means at this particular level of income, say for example 100, ठीक है, उसमें आपका consumption कितना है? At 200 level of income, what is your consumption? For that particular level of income, at for 300 level of income, what is our consumption? Okay, so by this we find out FPC C divided by Y. Here the C is 120, so and Y is 100. Accordingly, we have 1.20 FPC. So what do you see? FPC, यहाँ से आपको, you are always asked sometimes many types of question comes whether the FPC can be greater than 1, can be less than 0. So like this, many type of questions are asked. So just if you forget in the examination, remember this the value of income and consumption. If you know, if you have this table in your mind, or you can create your own data or etc. But if you remember any particular table, you just put the value of the income and consumption, then find out. You should know the formula also, that FPC equal to C divided by Y. Then you can find out the values of FPC, and whatever may be the question, just see the table, you can answer any question. Okay, so here we see that FPC can be greater than 1. FPC will be 1 at this, where this is the point where C and Y are exactly equal. So this is known as your break-even point. All you know, break-even point, where consumption and income are exactly equal. That is the break-even point. And then after break-even point, what we see that your FPC is decreasing. Okay, after break-even point, it is less than 1. That means people start saving. So like this, we have the FPC. Then we have marginal propensity to consume. Marginal means, always remember, it is the additional or the change. Marginal means additional or the change. So marginal propensity to consume. Of course, always we study consumption in relation to income, isn't it? Consumption is a function of income. So we will study the consumption in relation to income. So we will again using the same table. Okay, so what is marginal propensity to consume? Is the ratio of change in consumption due to change in income. With the change in income, how much we are consuming. Delta, here we use triangle, that is called a delta. Delta MPC equal to delta C divided by delta Y. So here we are taking from 100. Okay, so 100. So here the income is 100, and what is the change? पहले तो कोई change नहीं है, so 100 is blank. So after that, your change took place. 100 again, from 200, the income becomes 300. That change is 100. And here we have the consumption. At 100 level of income, 120 is our consumption. There is no change for the first line, nothing to write. Then the changes were 80. Then your change is again 80. So accordingly, we will find out the MPC. So it's not necessary that MPC will always be constant. Here, our according to value, you have a constant change दिखा because you're here. So we have find out, and remember this MPC will always lie between from 0 to 1. It will never be negative. It will be never less than 1 or negative, because it is calculated from the change in income. Okay, from the change in income. So, and it will never be negative. So like this, many things to be discussed. Now see the then we have the consumption graph. How the consumption graph is drawn. So here, in the x-axis, we are measuring income. In the y-axis, we are measuring consumption. Why this graph is starting from this